Can you have a seat, guys? One moment. Yeah. It's okay. I can see Alice. Yes. Okay, now okay, guys, welcome to day 2 of our masterclass. So if you missed yesterday's video, yesterday's masterclass, it'll be better if right now you can go to our link, our description. You should see it in the description somewhere here or here. It's go to sena.live. That's SENA.live/Tom. You guys relax a little bit. Sena.live/Tom. Okay, go there. It's in our description somewhere. Sena.live/Tom. That's SENA.LIVE/TOM. Sena.live/Tom. Once you go over there, you will see a PDF guide, right? You'll see a PDF guide. Download the guide so that you can follow with what we are going to be sharing with you today. Because today's sharing is not going to waste your time. Today is about giving you the science, the methods, the laws, the tools, the precise ways for you to achieve what we have done. And you need the guide to follow with what we're saying, otherwise you will be lost. So take some time, go to sena.live/Tom and download the guide. Okay, and while you're doing that, we're going to reintroduce ourselves. Yep, everything okay? Yeah. So my name is Sean. I am from Singapore, and before this, I was doing martial arts. I was doing fencing, and that's all I was doing full-time. And I've since transitioned from that lifestyle, from making $50 an hour, just trading my time for money, into becoming a 6-figure entrepreneur with my 2 high-income skills, mainly copywriting and high-ticket closing. And with that, I'm right now a much sought-after expert within my own space. John?
Yes, so I'm John Mercado. So before this, I was working the typical 9-to-5 corporate banking, finance, and now I'm here today doing what I love, changing lives, and here with my team.
Hey guys, my name is Monica, and I grew up with a huge fear of success my whole life and towards entrepreneurship. But upon making a powerful, committed decision, I felt a huge shift, and things have been coming my ways that I couldn't quite explain. Everything that I need to achieve my goals.
Huh?
Yes.
All right. So, hey, yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jay, coming at you live with the team today from Toronto. And my story, some of you guys heard this, some of you guys didn't, but just to make it more clear, I come from a very strong healthcare background as a doctor in pharmacy and a licensed acupuncturist both in the state of New York. And realizing that health is not a band-aid that you put on the body, is a health in the mind that vibrates through your body and maintains your body in a healthy condition. Change the way I look at everybody and the way I look at health in general. And because of that, nowadays, what I do is strive my best to give you the tools that you need to maintain for yourself and by yourself a healthy mind so that you live a healthy life and a prosperous life.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Alice G. I used to work at an e-commerce company in the beauty industry. And I've always been overworked, underpaid, and it's the beauty industry, but things couldn't have been more uglier.
The stunner.
That's possible. Well, the beauty industry, but things couldn't have been more uglier. And the reason for that is you can see we have all different backgrounds and we all come from different countries. And the same thing that we all have in common is we made a decision. We sat down and we said to ourselves that, okay, this is not right. Like, we cannot carry on leading the lives that we were leading. Otherwise, it's just going to be terribly, terribly wrong. And the reason we were able to do what we can do today, to raise our vibration, change our paradigm, change our habits, change everything, change our lifestyle, change our results, change our income, is because we sat down at our own time, in our own way, we started thinking. And we made a decision for change. As I was saying yesterday, all of us had two options. Either continue doing what we were doing or do something different. And we chose the second one. So that's the main reason why we are doing this video, because if right now you are stuck at wherever you are, at where we were a couple of years ago, you're struggling with something, maybe it's your job, maybe it's your environment, maybe it's your situation, and you're stuck. And by stuck, I mean you got no choice, which means that if you do not do what you do, you have no way out and you're stuck and you want change. You want something different, then this webinar is for you. So by now you should have your guide, Sina.live/Tom. You should have a guide and you need to refer to what we are saying, because we're going to give you a very precise science of the mind and how you can use it to change everything. And once you absorb what we have to give to you, you cannot go back to your old way of life and say, I'm stuck and I'm unhappy. You cannot say none of these things anymore, because you now have the key. You now know how the mind works. And do you realize that really no one has ever seen the mind? And I'm not talking about the brain. I'm talking about your mind. Do you realize that we can't really see it? And today, we're going to show you how the mind looks like. And to do that, we're going to show a little figure. So
it's on one of the slides, but before we get into, it's going to be hard to see, but it'll be best, so we all have links to the PDF so you can see the diagrams. But we want to illustrate a picture of the mind. We want to illustrate a picture so you guys have a visual. Just because as we're making change, whether it's in a job, whether it's in a relationship, or whether you just want better results, you need to have some type of visual so it's tangible. And there is so it's tangible and you understand what we're talking about when you're going from point A to point B. We want to give you guys that clear picture in visual and through our explanations. So you're now aware of what things, how your mind works and how you can actually go ahead and make that change. So Sean, I don't know if you could start giving an introduction on what it takes to get from point A to point B and how most of us are stuck in our goals.
Yeah, so very good point. So what does it mean to be stuck, and how do you even be stuck? Now, you cannot be stuck if you have nowhere to go. If you are happy being where you are right now, then there's nothing wrong, then stay there. But if you want to get to somewhere else, for example, I don't know if you can see me, but let's say you're somewhere around here, like this logo, you're right here, and you say, okay, something is wrong. I can't be here forever. I need to get to somewhere here or somewhere here. So you want to move up. You want change. You want progress. You want new results. You want a different life. So you want to move up. The moment you have that desire within you, that's when you can say that you're stuck, because you don't want to be here. You want to be here. But you don't know how to get there, and you're constantly stuck here, but you want this. This is what you want. This is what you don't want. And my question to you is, why are most people stuck? And you know that. You look at your friends, the people around you, you see a lot of them are either consciously or unconsciously stuck. They might admit it, they might not admit it, but you know it and I know it, you're stuck. And sometimes it happens to us as well. We get stuck. So being stuck is not the problem. The problem is, why are you stuck? The answer is your paradigm. Now, what is a paradigm? Would anyone like to explain?
So a paradigm is a multitude of habits. You can think of it as mental programming. So you grew up in all these different environments, and your parents, people around you, people you interact with, everything around you except yourself affect the way you think, the way you act. And that goes deep into your subconscious and affects your habitual behaviors. Most of your behaviors are habitual.
Monica, anything to add?
Yeah. So the automatic behavior, just to give you a classic example, is sometimes whenever I go to work or to destinations, I take the wrong turn because my body, I'm just so used to taking this one specific route every day. So whenever I'm trying to get to a different place, I would take the wrong turn, even though in my head I know where I need to be. So that's the type of automatic programmed behaviors.
I just wanted to expand just a little bit on that and give you perhaps a bigger picture of what that looks like, because everybody, when they wake up, we all have a morning routine. And very hypothetically, this is what it looks like. You wake up at 6 a.m. and as soon as you wake up, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you get out of the bathroom, you go to the kitchen, and you make yourself a hot cup of coffee. Now, what I always say is that when you wake up and you walk to the bathroom and you start brushing your teeth, your mind is not, I'm brushing my teeth and I'm brushing my front teeth for 2 minutes in this angle, and then I'm twisting my toothbrush and I'm brushing my molars for this in this angle for this many minutes. That's not what's happening. All that stuff has been completely automated. It has become a habit, and just like Alice mentioned, it has become a habit that is installed now. Now, the multitude of that components becomes your paradigm, which allows you to operate efficiently in an automatic manner while your thinking is in other things. However, thoughts that we have accumulated so far in our lives, over 95% of them are the culprit that are hiding inside of us, sabotaging your own dreams by keeping you in your comfort zone.
So Dave, to add to that, so essentially a paradigm is autopilot mode. That's your autopilot mode. We go through life, you wake up, you're in a routine because you're so used to doing the same thing over and over. It becomes habit, it becomes pattern. So that becomes difficult because humans, we're habitual. So if you want to break that pattern or make a change, it's really, really hard because you're just so used to doing it, and that's what we're going to teach today. So if you're in a habit, we'll just, as a concrete example, we'll say most of us want to make more money. So let's say right now you're making, let's say you're making 100,000, but you want to be making $1 million. Right now, your pattern, your actions, behaviors, or beliefs are programmed to live in that $100,000 cycle. And you want to make a change. You want to get to that spot, but you just don't know how. That is really the underlying issue behind change and growth, and we're here to explain that and show you how you can do that.
Hey guys, just to connect with our audience and show them some love, I wanted to quickly shout out Lynn for logging in and being with us, Patrick, who's live with us as well, and I see some really familiar names over here. You guys want to just say hi to your audience for a little bit, show them some love?
Sarah.
I see
Sarah, Ray.
We got over there, Sean, let's see.
Alyssa.
Oh no.
We got Amar.
Evan. And at any point, just
Hey, yo, we got Tyler Fu over here.
ask questions.
Hey, there you go, guys. Drop the emojis, drop the reactions. Much love to you all.
Ask questions, we'll answer.
And if you guys have any questions, just feel free. We know we're a little bit far from the screen, so we're gonna take some time to get to them, but we'll do our best to reach out to you guys. So feel free to interact with us. We are doing this to connect with you guys.
Yes, and write this down. Okay, so the definition of a paradigm is your subconscious collection of your habits. So earlier on, Mercado was saying it's autopilot. So it's either your mental software that overrides everything you do, or it's going to be a mental prison. So you see a lot of people around you, they keep doing the things they do again and again and again and again and again. And even after 3, 5, 10 years, you look back and you check back and you realize that the life is still the same and they do the same things over and over again and they're not conscious of it. That's the power of your paradigm, which means that your paradigm controls most of your actions. And the reason you're not getting the results you want is because your actions are not changing, because your paradigm is not changing. Which means that if you don't change the paradigm, you will never change your results. So the reason why you're watching this now, I'm guessing, is because you want to change in your results. So you want to change in your results, you have to change your paradigm. So to do that, we're going to show you how the mind looks like. So refer to your slides, refer to your PDF guide. You see the stick figure, okay? We're going to give him a name. We're just going to call him Tom. Okay, this stick figure, we're just going to call him Tom. So Tom has several parts to his body. And actually, you and I are all Toms, okay? So you can see the first section, the upper half of the circle, right here. That is your conscious mind. That is the part of your mind that makes conscious decisions that says, I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to do this, I want to do that. It makes conscious decisions. That's where your free will lies. And all of us have that. All of us have free will. What about the second half? What does the second half represent?
So basically, guys, I showed you the picture, but just so that you guys can physically also play around with this idea is, imagine that you have a line across your face, ear to ear, and the top half is the conscious mind that Sean just described to you guys, and the bottom half is the subconscious mind. Just have that in your mind.
Right, top being your thoughts. These are your logical mind. This is what we think. Subconscious being our feelings and self-image. And this is, that's the part that we don't know about because it's subconscious. So, teaching us now, we're going to make you conscious of your subconscious. So the main flow of this is you have thoughts and you want to impress your thoughts upon your subconscious mind, and that feeling is going to vibrate through your body, and that's going to determine your action. So it should feel very natural.
And for the geeks here, I just wanted to add that what Sean is doing right now is he is installing in your mind a visualization of something that you're not used to seeing, because our mind thinks in pictures. When I say chair right now, you don't think of the letters CHAIR. You think of the chair that you're sitting on. You think of the chair that's comfortable for you. You think of a picture. Now, what Sean just did was, by sharing this visual, now you have a conscious picture of what your mind actually is, which is not your brain. Your mind is something higher than your brain. Now you have a picture that you can start to, quote unquote, manipulate and play around with so that you get present to what this is. And because I learned this is when we transmit this sound energy to you, that sound energy hits your brain and it stimulates your brain to create this picture. And the constant repetition of this picture is what's going to empower you. Is the step number one that's going to allow you to start looking at what your current paradigm is and how you're going to start to play with this picture of the mind that we just showed you. That's going to allow you to start shifting your paradigm. And that's why we are here today to share with you all.
So let's recap a little bit and simplify this model a little bit simplify Tom for our audience. So Monica, help me a little bit, like the conscious mind, what can we do with it? So the conscious mind, we can choose our thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. So conscious mind is where we make conscious decisions and we can choose our thoughts. So you have to write it down. We can choose our thoughts. What about, so here's conscious mind, subconscious mind, what happens?
Right, so just like Sean said, conscious mind, think of it like a filter. When you just leave it mindlessly, and if you aren't conscious about what kind of thoughts you're putting into your mind, you're getting just everything, whatever, into your subconscious. And the scariest part is, like John said, you don't know what's in there, and it's dictating all the habits every day that you're going through in your life. So to give you the idea, let's say, let me start with this. There is frequency, which is the expression of vibration. And just think of it as a different level of energy, okay? And let's think about something exciting, something that you truly want in your life. But it's not something you go, oh, it's kind of what I want, but you commit to it. It's your truest desire. So when you finally match the energy of your goal, the right ideas starts to come into your conscious mind. And naturally, because it's your desire, it's going to trigger positive emotions, which is going to propel you forward towards taking the right actions. Not any actions, but the right actions that's aligned with your goal. And naturally, that's going to create the results that's going to get you closer to the goal. So it's like a cycle. When you are mindlessly going about your goals and ideas, then your cycle goes on, stuck, like Sean mentioned multiple times, mindlessly, as opposed to if you make sure you make the committed decision to stay on your goal, then your positive cycle begins.
Right.
And can I give everyone a visual? So think of it as a pair of sunglasses. And if you don't wear the sunglasses and you stare directly into the sun, you're going to receive all that light and you're going to get blind. That's why it's so
momentarily blinded, please.
So that's why it's important to decide to say yes or no to information that's being fed to you instead of being on autopilot default mode.
Right. So what you're saying is when you put the sunglass, now you're making a conscious decision to choose which light you let in, which thoughts you let in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then I want to, I'm gonna give an example and then we can move on to how you actually go about it. So back to the money. So I want to make $1 million. So I'm thinking that. And then I say that, but in my vibration and my feelings, my subconscious, I may have limiting beliefs that say I'm not worthy. I'm afraid of money. I'm not, I don't know how to make it. And that thought of making $1 million is just going to hit the subconscious, bounce right out, and there's going to be no action to it. So now we want to show you how to get your conscious thought aligned with your feelings and how to really change your feelings so they accept that. So they accept your desires, and it makes it easier for you to take action and make the results. And Jay, do you want to tell us how that all starts?
Yeah, so if you, just to give you a more clear progress of what we're doing, if you look at the first 1, 2, 3, 4 slides, you're gonna see exactly what we're talking about having a thought up there about your goal and you being down here, right? And there's 2 X's showing you that. And what happens when you think about a goal that's up there, just like you said, like Mercado said, $1 million goal. Now, you think that you have to get some type of resource. You have to keep getting some type of learning. You have to find something down here that's going to gradually propel you up here. And that is where the common downfall comes, because just like Albert Einstein said, guys, we cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that produced the problem. What he meant to say is that you have to raise up your level of thinking to where you want to be, so that coming from the place of having figured out the equation, having figured out the solution, having figured out the formula for you to get to the million, you're going to be able to trace back your actions and start to attract to yourself the resources that you need to be where you want to be. And when you look at the next slide, you're going to see that there are clouds of thought on the current level that you're at. And then the next slide, you're going to see that there's clouds of thought at the level of the goal that you want to achieve. And that's what Mercado is saying, and that's what actually Monica said. And you have to fuse those thoughts together. You have to know exactly what it is that you want, and it's not just a random thing that you want. It has to be something that you're committed, like she said, very committed, and you're completely passionate, and you burn up from the inside so bad because you want it. Napoleon Hill called it the burning desire. So once you have that and you lock it in, you start to put yourself in, hey, I am $1 million earner. I have achieved the goal of $1 million. And in the beginning, it's gonna feel a little bit uncomfortable because, like Mercado said, you're going to start to make an impression on the subconscious, but the subconscious in the beginning is going to reject it very hard because it's not used to that thinking. Now, the more you do it, right, because we're creatures of habit, the more you repeat something, the more comfortable something becomes. And at that point is when you're going to internalize it and you're going to start thinking from the end.
So before we move forward, let's do a quick recap for our audience. So the upper half you see in your diagram, right, your slides, is your conscious mind. And the conscious mind is the part of your mind that says, I can and I will.
Yes.
I choose this.
Yes.
I choose this thought. I choose to think this thought. I consciously decide what I want. That's the power of your conscious mind. You can choose, right? Your subconscious mind, it cannot do that. So your subconscious mind, it can only accept. It cannot reject. So once you say it often enough, and you hold the thought for long enough, and you repeat it for long enough, what happens? Your subconscious mind starts to accept. So when you keep saying it again and again and again, and you feel it, and you are it, your subconscious mind can only accept. So that is the key that you have right there. And what happens when your subconscious mind accepts the idea.
To add to that a little bit, I want to get us present to how grand that is, because I think Jay shared to me a while back that we go through 50,000 or 80,000 thoughts a day. And the scariest part is we don't know what they all are because we mindlessly go through those thoughts. And just imagine if those thoughts are based on limitations, negativity, and self-doubt. And you are trying to achieve your goals, yet you're repeatedly telling yourself 50 to 80,000 times a day that goes against it. Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is, what Sean was saying is that once you start to make that impression consistent in your subconscious mind, your whole being starts to change, in the meaning that Monica said the past. So basically you start from the pattern of thinking of I'm not enough, I don't have it, and Mercado said this as well, I don't have it, I don't have the skills, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the resources, and those are your 50 to 80,000 thoughts that work against you. Now, what Sean said is, once you start accepting the idea that you are enough, that you have what it takes over time, over consistent and persistent effort to install that idea, your subconscious accepts it, and it starts to send to your body the necessary action steps, right? From the thinking, you keep impressing it, and you get the feeling that's gonna send to the body, and the body is going to start taking action steps, which are gonna become a self-fulfilling cycle. Now, instead of saying that I can't and that I'm not enough, it's gonna become a cycle of I can, I am enough, and as you do that, you are going to, like magic, start attracting the resources that you want and need, and you have a very great cycle.
Yes.
Right. So I am here with my team in Toronto, and initially I didn't know how I was going to make it work because I didn't have all the resources that would support my stay here. Yet I really needed to be here because I was going to get the training from the master thinker himself. So I went ahead and bought the plane tickets, even though I didn't know how rest of the plan was going to work out. And the funny thing is, I was really scared. I actually wanted to throw up doing it, but I did it. I committed to it. And within a week, I've been focusing on it's going to happen, not what if it doesn't work? What if I waste my money on a plane ticket? I focused on it's going to work. And within a week, I attracted $4,000. And you have to understand, before I applied for loans, credit cards, all sorts of means, and I couldn't explain why, but I got rejected by all of them, to the point where I was applying to a same institution twice. So this is what happens when you're in alignment with the energy.
Yeah, and to give another example too, so we shared our stories yesterday. So, for example, I was trying to leave my job for a while, and every attempt I made, it was, I try something and then give up, and then the thoughts would kick in saying, I'm comfortable, I don't need to do this. But it wasn't until I made a committed decision, like we're all saying, we got excited. Once I made a committed decision, what that does for a moment is your paradigm just kind of breaks away. It allows me to make the jump from down here to up here, and saying, I'm committed. This is being true to yourself and saying, I'm not afraid to be me. I'm going to be me. Like fuck the paradigm. Like, it's gone. I'm going to be me for that moment. I'm thinking up here. And I went from thinking of, I have to work hard, I got to learn how to do business, how to do all this, to just, I'm leaving and I'm going to just start doing what I want. And then, boom, ideas started flowing to me, and I acted upon them because I was in that higher state and action. And you have to take, this is the key, you have to take advantage when you get moments like this, when you get moments where you're you, the thoughts, all like the limiting beliefs, the bullshit drops, and you're clear. Your mind is clear, your thoughts are clear, you're up there, and you're thinking differently. You have to take action from there versus down here. If not, nothing's going to happen.
I just wanted to take a quick second to ask the audience, does this resonate with you? Do these stories speak to you in any shape or form? Drop a quick yes. press the like button, press the heart button, whatever reactions you wanna put down. Just let us know that how do you see what we are telling you, and how do you see applying that into your thinking right now, into what your current life is, and how do you see yourself using that to now flip the coin to the other side so that you can powerfully start going after the things that you really want. Okay, just think about it for a second, drop your comments, and Alice, is there anything that you want to add?
Piggyback on what you just said, think of it as, a lot of times we think, oh, fate is designed for us, and I want to tell you that you get to design your own fate by your committed decision.
Wow. So very quick recap for those of you who maybe just joined. So we're talking about Tom, and if you refer to your slides, you see the stick figure, Tom. So here's a conscious mind, there's a free will, and here's a subconscious mind. That's the emotional mind. That's where your ideas get transferred into the subconscious, where it gets manifested as reality. And the way that it happens is you hold the thought for long enough. The thought becomes an idea, the idea creates an emotion, the emotion drives your body to take action. Now you repeat this cycle long enough, what happens? Your action becomes a habit. With the right habits lead you to the right results. So it's a positive cycle. So it all begins with a single thought. But this thought cannot be an ambiguous thought. If you start with an ambiguous thought, then this cycle cannot happen. You need to have a clear, focused, committed thought. To be more specific, you need to have a clear decision. Because earlier on I mentioned that we are right here and we want to get to here. And why are most people stuck? Because of the paradigm. So if you want to start operating your paradigm and make it work, you need to set a goal and say, I want to be here, and it's my decision to be here. And what happens when you say, okay, I'm right here, but now I want to play at this level. No matter, like, I don't care the how, I don't care how I'm going, when I'm going to do it, but I want to be here and I will get there. What happens when you make that decision?
So just to elaborate on that and tell you guys what happens is this. How many of you guys can relate when I say, because I'm guilty of this, that when I start a venture or I perform a certain action, and me and my quote unquote competition, there's not really competition in the world, guys, because there's more than enough, there's too much abundance to be competing with anyone. But I see somebody else doing the same thing that I'm doing, and they achieve the result, and I don't. I'll give you a very funny paradigm that I had when I was younger. I always wanted to gain muscle, but it didn't matter how much I worked out, I couldn't put an ounce of muscle. Because in my mind, I was like, I'm working out, but I am naturally thin, so I can't build muscle. That was my paradigm. So it didn't matter how hard I worked out and how heavy I lifted to work up, my muscles wouldn't grow. I would see my friends, they would lift for a month, and they would gain like 10 pounds of muscle like that, right? And then I would compare myself, and it would just become a self-defeating cycle. Like, oh yeah, my friends can do that because they're different from me, and I just can't gain muscle. And that carried my results physically, right? That's how powerful your paradigm is. It's literally like bending reality. Now, just like Sean shared with you guys, when you make a committed decision that you want to achieve a certain result, right? That's when you do performing the same action, because it's not the action itself that separates it, it's how you perform the action with your thinking. True story, last year, I worked out for 6 months every day with a thought in mind that I am going to gain weight. And just like that, like magic, in 6 months, I gained 12 pounds of muscle, which I have never gained in my life. Yeah, and I'm still very lean, but the thing is that, you see, for my thinking this time around, I'll tell you very clearly, my thinking this time was, no matter what, I am gaining weight. Yeah. I have gained weight, like, and every day in my mind, I'll see myself, like checking myself in the mirror, having a six-pack and having a very well-developed body. No doubt about it. It was like this time, I draw the line on the sand, I am gaining muscle, period. There is no if and buts. I don't care how much I don't care how much I have to work out, I'm gaining muscle. Yes.
What do you say for people saying, so your goal, for example, is he wanted to gain weight, or maybe your goal is to get to wherever you want to get, maybe make more money, have a better relationship, and you want to get to there. But they're saying, but circumstances, but you don't understand.
No.
It's my excuses. You don't understand.
No.
You don't understand.
I,
You don't understand. I'm big.
no.
You don't understand. I'm broke.
No.
You don't understand. I'm different.
Stop it, Sean. Stop it. Stop it. We're gonna actually, guys, if you stick around all the way to the end, we're gonna share a YouTube video where you're gonna see why we're saying this little skit of the.
Why is it important to stop the paradigm?
Because that paradigm is actually the self-sabotaging thought. Is that comment that you have in your head telling you, rationalizing why you can't achieve the result that you want, even though that's what you want. That it makes sense to you. This is the thing. I wanted to gain weight, but I kept on telling myself that I can't gain weight, that I can't gain muscle. Do you guys catch the paradox here? My deep inside, I'm like burning to gain some muscle in my body. Yet I'm telling myself that I can't put on muscle. Do you guys see the disconnection here? And do you see why you have to tell yourself, stop it? Yes. Do you see why you have to say stop it to the thought of I can't gain muscle, and what do I have to tell myself?
I have a six.
I have a six-pack. There you go. I have a six-pack, right? And you know what? I confess, for the first 3 months, I wasn't seeing much. My body was kind of the same that it's been for the last 35 years of my life, and I was a little disheartened, but I was lucky because I had people in my life that said, "Hey, you already put in 3 months of work. Why don't you just keep going? Who knows?" And that encouragement, that group of people that just said, "Hey, just keep going," that was like a key for me to push past my own self-defeating talk, my own self-defeating behavior, and finally break through that glass ceiling that I had. And for the next 3 months, like it was like magic. Every month, I gained about 4 to 5 pounds of muscle consistently, and I topped out at 12 pounds.
I think the easy way to resonate with frequencies, think of it as a radio station, because if you're on the FM radio, you're not going to have the access to, what's the other one actually?
Millennial talk, I don't know what it is.
Right, so even though Jay wanted to gain the weight, but his belief, his frequency was in a different radio station. And this is where people confuse law of attraction and law of frequency. Even though you want something, if you're not on the same radio station, you're not going to get that.
And to add, here, I want to give a good example of a good paradigm. So for me, staying healthy and fit, I'm sorry, Jay, and gaining muscle is very, very effortless. Seriously, no, this is good. I probably go to the gym once, if I get busy, I'll go to the gym once a week, maybe 2 to 3 times in a couple of weeks, and I'll get the six-pack, I'll get the muscles, because I have it in my head that I'm healthy and working out and having everything is easy. Yeah. Now it comes to me so easily. So when you have a good subconscious feeling, when you have good self-image, things come that much easier. But when you don't, you can see how much of a headache it can be. And for an example, so many of us have that money paradigm. Like, we want money and it's just such a headache. But then you have people make millions in a day. Somebody made $100,000 in 2 days. It's like, yeah, it's that easy. So what you can do from there is, because you have all this, these heavy blocks, the best way, we're going to transition now, the best way to get rid of those is to have like-minded people, or people who are doing it already what you want. So either a mentor, coach, or like-minded individuals, like a mastermind. So we're making changes in our lives, and yes, it's hard, but we're all together, and it becomes that much easier. I have Jay, and I have mentors and coaches that just say, stop it. This is how you should be thinking. And I keep wanting to fight myself, like, no, it has to be like this. Like, no, just stop it. Look how easy it could be. So we want to show you that you're not alone when you have a team. It could be that easy.
And this is very powerful, because what they're saying is, if you are right here, and your frequency and your vibration is right here, and your level of awareness is right here, but you want to get to here, and the thoughts and the things that you do and the places that you go and the people that you hang out with are right here, then how will you ever get to here? So something has to change. And it's not so much the how, right? You have to let go of the how. If you focus on the how, which means that no matter what kind of tools you accumulate, more resources, more causes, like you just accumulate all of them, but you're vibrating at here, then you're going to be stuck.
Yeah.
So how do I change my frequency from here to now I ramp up my frequency and say, okay, I'm vibrating at here. How do I do that?
You need that to know because no one can do this on their own because Napoleon Hill said no mind is complete by itself. It needs to associate and contact with other minds in order to grow and expand. Think of it as Power Rangers. If there's only one Power Ranger, it's hard to fight the evil force, right? It's hard. If you have 5, then you go like, Morphin time! Like, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Morphin time!
Morphin!
And you like get together and the battle you become this giant humanoid machine and you're like a Megazord. Yeah, you become Megazord.
Once
So
itself,
yeah.
when you make the committed decision, your frequency goes up, right? So you're here, and you want to get to here, and you say, okay, the way to do it is I'm going to decide I want to play at this level.
Yes.
And the moment you make that decision, your frequency changes. And then all the how, all the how will come to you. So you don't chase the how, you chase the vibration. And the way to do that is to get clear of what your decision is. And even then, one mind alone, like us before we met, when we were still on our own, is very different from now, the 5 of us coming together. Everything has changed because being in this team, we have each other's backs. We watch out for each other's blind spots. We give each other support, encouragement, care, and concern. So we are like, as Alice said, we are the Power Rangers combined. We are the Megazord, as opposed to just one limb, one hand. You on your own, it's very, very hard to achieve a breakthrough because no matter how hard you vibrate, you will be stuck at your personal limits. And I was a lone wolf for the longest time. And today, I have learned to connect with like-minded people, people that have the results I want, people that have success I want, people that have the frequency that I want to get, so that I will move from here to start vibrating at here. Then the thoughts, the results, the actions, the habits, the conditions, the circumstances, the environment, the success will all come from this environment. Because from this frequency, because you cannot attract what you are, so you cannot attract what you want by doing all these things stuck over here. You can only attract what you want by being at the frequency of your goal. So your goal and your frequency has to be a match.
Exactly, and I want to add on to what Sean just said, and I want to point out the most important keyword, like-minded people. Because, you know, a lot of times we have our friends and family hold us accountable, we have these accountability groups, but most of the accountability groups don't work because the like-minded is still thinking at the low frequency, and if you don't stick to your daily goals, your daily targets, they're gonna go easy on you because they didn't complete their daily tasks.
Wait. What's the consequence of doing this thing, like letting a frequency be connected with not like-minded people? What's the consequence? So you're trying to get from here to here, and then other people are saying you can't.
It becomes literally a losing battle. You're going into war losing because instead of having people, hey, you say you wanted this, do it. You have people, hey, you say you wanted it, you're not doing it, it's okay, stay here. And the more you stay in that environment, the more you're bound to stay there completely powerless to the fact that you are, right? You are being pulled up. And what I learned from our mentor today, which resonated in a whole different way, because I realized that as we raise our frequency and we associate with like-minded people and we go up in frequency, when you go up your frequency, the same words, the same thoughts land on you on a completely different way that open up a whole new possibility of you looking at the world. And when my mentor said, you take inspired action, I just felt like a nuclear bomb just exploded inside of me, because I realized that the same action that I take becomes inspired action when I'm in the right frequency. And that is the power of being associated with and people you say.
Exactly.
And to add to that, more importantly, how do you get there? So, like Sean said, he made a committed decision to be up here. Now, for a little bit, he's going to be up here by himself. Everyone around him is going to be like crabs in a bucket. Sean's here, his friends and family may be down here. They're going to be like, come back, Sean, come back, Sean. What you do is you make that committed decision, you stay persistent, and you're going to see Sean's here, and it's like, oh, hey, like Jonathan's here now. Other people who made committed decisions are like here. And you want to be surrounded by people who pull you up. And that immediately happens when you're vibrating at that frequency. You automatically attract all the people, all the resources, everything you need to make your goal come true, you will attract if you stay up there. And right now, you're here, all of us, we're here to help you go up. And we really want to emphasize that, it's not a journey that you have to go through alone.
Right, and think of it this way. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Why are you raising your hand like you're in school? That's cute, go ahead, sorry.
You've done harmony brain
Sure.
Okay. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Do you want to spend time with the people that light your fire, that add wood to it, so it burns like wildfire and gains momentum, or do you want people that pour a huge bucket of ice water on your fire?
Ooh. So, and then this is where the sunglasses story comes in handy, because that's when you're able to put on your sunglasses and choose which thoughts, which influences you're gonna have on your life. And just think about what she said about Power Rangers. I know that we look really doing. Come on, guys, it's moving time. But the thing is that this right here, I'm so sorry, but this right here doesn't happen, because I remember when I was watching Power Rangers, they had gotten out of sync, and they couldn't freaking morph. I remember.
I remember.
Yeah, and they were struggling so hard to come together, and it wasn't happening. And it wasn't until they adjusted their thinking, they adjusted their frequencies, and they matched the frequency where that union came, and they were able to morph into Megazord. Think about that very carefully. It sounds kind of silly, and I know it's just a cartoon, but think about the principle that went there. They had to match in frequency, because whatever dinosaur they were controlling, those dinosaurs had to be in the same frequency to come together to form a structure. Same frequency. And this is the thing: if you know deep in your heart that the frequency you're on is not the frequency that you want to be in, you have is your power. Viktor Frankl said that it is your power to choose your attitude at any given circumstance. It doesn't matter how bad a circumstance is. It's your power to choose it. So choose which frequency you want to be in, because your power is yours.
So this far into our day 2. By now, do you understand what we are telling you about frequency, and do you want to change the frequency? Because if you don't change your frequency, then like I said, you'll be vibrating here, and whatever you do, it's going to be here. Period. You cannot get out of it. That's why you're stuck. So you need to change the frequency so that you no longer get stuck here and have the results you want here. And like I said, on your own, it's very tough, because like I said, if you don't have like-minded people, every 10 steps you take forward, chances are 9 or even 10 or even 11, you're going to get pulled back, because the people that you interact with don't have the frequency you want. So how are you going to get here if you try to vibrate so hard and say, I'm going to get here, and people are like, then what are you going to do? You need more batteries, because all of our mind are batteries. You need more batteries of the same frequency to come together so that you can, boom, move up. That's the consequence of hanging around people that don't have the right frequency. Now imagine this, you get on the opposite end, and now every day you are speaking with, learning from, interacting with, having conversations with people that have your results, with people that have what you want. What does that do for you? You tell me. You comment below and tell me. When you have that, everyone's vibrating at here, like the 5 of us, what's going to happen? Now people at this frequency, they can't touch you. Because you're already here and you're strong, you're anchored. Like we anchor each other. We hold each other accountable. We support each other. So we permanently make sure that we play it here. And anyone that tries to change that, it's very hard for them because the 5 of us, and actually we have more. We are strong.
And guys, I'm not promising you rainbows and butterflies every day, because addressing each other and calling each other out in what's getting in our way is some of the toughest conversations that we have to have with each other. It involves a lot of trust with each other and the willingness to be called out on your face at any given time to say, stop it. And we're not kidding when we say stop it here.
Stop it!
Yeah, and it is not fun because you have to swallow everything that you want to say, all the excuses that you're so used to shooting out automatically like a machine gun. Anytime you're challenged, you have to, and then think, why am I being told this? Not as in like, oh, I'm guilty and I'm not good enough or whatever.
It's not personal.
It's not, but it's like, hey, like they have a really good reason why they're saying this to me. What can I learn from here? What is it that I have to address? And what is it that I have to get out of my way? So that I can change and always stay at this frequency and go higher, even higher, and together rise constantly our level.
It's like a very simple question. You are here, or we are here, and we want to get to here. We cannot stay at this frequency. We have to move up. And the way to do that is to be in a collective group of people with the same kind of frequency that you want, so we all move up together. Am I making sense? Because alone, and I've done it for years, and my willpower is pretty okay, I think, and it's still very tough.
And I can totally relate to that because, like I shared yesterday, guys, I come from a very strong healthcare background, and I was a lone wolf as well. Because as a pharmacist, you are the one that's responsible for because as a pharmacist, you're like the sole person that's responsible for the results that happen at the pharmacy, and it just kind of put me in a position where I had to like talk it out on my own, right? And I couldn't rely on anyone. It made me strong in some ways, but at the same time, it made me very isolated. So it took a lot of work for me to also like, let's say, dumb myself down in a way, like put my ego down, become humble, and say I'm willing to trust in people, and let these people give me and get me to where I want to be, because they're here for my good and for their own good, and we're here for each other's good, and it's just a beautiful setting to be in.
And to go with that thought, it's not your fault that you're here. It's not our fault that we're starting here. We don't have control of how we're born. We don't put the thoughts in our heads. We don't put the beliefs in our head. It's not our fault that we're here, but it is your fault if you don't change it. If you don't do anything about it, it is your fault because it's your life. How do you want to live? Like we said yesterday, do you want to say that?
Do you want to die at the age of 40 and be buried at 80, or do you want to start acting now and live your life as you?
And live, like actually live.
Not just breathe, inhale, exhale.
And for those of you who have been following so far, or those of you that kind of joined in the middle, Scena.live/Tom is Scena.live/Tom is where you're gonna get the slide presentation of what we talked about today. If the slides are not enough, make sure that you jump back into this live. We're gonna post all our replays all over the place so that you guys can get easy access to it. Go to the live and follow along with the slides, and you're going to be able to connect to what the concepts that we talked about here and what are the step-by-steps that we just unlocked for you so that you can apply into your life starting right now. This is not a tomorrow thing. We know that it's evening time for a lot of you, but it's not a tomorrow time. The tomorrow thing, this changing thinking, you can start applying to yourself now. You have something else?
Yeah, so by this time of the video, you should know what your conscious mind is. You should know what your subconscious mind is. You should know what your body is and what your actions are and what your habits are. Because all these are going to lead to your results. And if you can't understand this, go and look at the slides again, because this is literally the picture of your mind. And if you cannot see the picture of your mind and you can't see how your mind operates, then you will forever be like a blind person, just moving around, repeating the same things over and over again, and not getting the results you want. So see the mind for what it is, because you are in control. No one else is. It's not about your past. It's not about your environment. It's what you do. And what you do is governed by your paradigm. And we just gave you the entire blueprint of your paradigm. So that is the place to start. That is the guide to read. And any other things before I write down?
I want to emphasize the importance of why now? Why now? You're probably thinking, okay, let me sleep on it because this is like too much information. I need to digest it. Let me tell you this. Yesterday, it's already history, and tomorrow may never come because you never know what's going to happen. All you have is now. All you can do is act now.
Well, you do know what's going to happen. Mr. Paradigm's going to come back in and you're just going to autopilot. So that's not even a mystery. So we don't have to tell you what to do, but Sean, we can tell them that we are here to help them.
Yeah, so the stick figure, Tom, is all of us. We are all stick figures. You are a stick figure as well. So now that you can see your paradigm, what are you going to do about it? Right? Comment below. That's the paradigm we just given to you. If you can see your paradigm, what are you going to do about it? So any concluding statement?
Yeah, if you want to get a good visual of what they just talked about, is that in one of the slides you're gonna see how you're gonna have the star with a goal, yet it's very faded. What that means is that you thought about the goal, you thought about what could be possible to you, you thought about that beautiful dream, you thought about your heaven. And because you didn't get in the right frequency, now every second that you spend without moving towards it or without being in that frequency of thought, that beautiful thing that you just thought about keeps going away from your consciousness until one day you're gonna wake up and just like Alice said, you're gonna be 80 years old and you're gonna be getting buried and you're gonna regret those 40 years of time that you had to be doing exactly what you wanted and you didn't. Get present to that. We're talking about your life, and we know that we use 9 to 5, how we quit at 9 to 5 when we went to being six-figure entrepreneurs. And this is our reality. However, this is what we chose to create. Now, you don't necessarily only relate, you don't necessarily only have to relate it to this. We kept saying, what is it that you really want? What is it that you're really looking forward to? And anything that we said, if you need more clarity, for the next 24 hours, we're offering free clarity calls for the first 10 people that book a call with us.
There's a reward.
Right.
Yeah, as a reward for following us this long, we have 10 slots. So if by now you know that you need a parent, because another way of saying what Jay is saying to you is, maybe you think you're not 40, so I got time, I don't need to think about this. What is your current paradigm costing you?
Yeah, don't kid yourself.
The current paradigm that you have, if it is not working out for you, why do you want to keep it? Is it fun? Right? Is it noble? So if you know that your paradigm right now is not complete, it's not perfect, I mean, it's never going to be, but if you know that it's not helping, why are you keeping it? Because we already told you, you can change it, you can control it. So as a reward for following us this long, we're offering only 10 slots for a strategy call, which means that right now, if you have problems, you are struggling with certain cycles that you cannot break out of. Maybe you want to quit certain habits, maybe you want to overcome certain things, maybe you want to achieve certain things, but you feel stuck. We are here to help you unlock the paradigm, because we've done it. Previously, we were all stuck in our 9 to 5s. We were not happy. And using the key that we've been learning, we managed to do it. And we want to give the key to you right now, but we cannot help everyone. So we're only going to offer 10 serious participants. If you're watching this live right now, or maybe the replay or somewhere else, and you come across this, within the next 24 hours, right, we're going to give out only 10 slots. So you can book those slots by going to sena.live, that's SENA.LIVE, that's SENA.LIVE/Tom, T-O-M. You go there, you'll see the form, and right below is a link to book a strategy call with us. We will get on the phone with you and find out where you are right now and how we can give you the key to unlock your potential so that you move from here to get to here. right? If what you want is to stay here, then don't do anything. But if you want change, do something. You have to change your actions, otherwise you're gonna keep getting the same results. So this is a chance. This is an opportunity for you to change the game once and for all, the way we did. You want our results, do what we say.
Make a decision. That's really it. You know, we're not going to tell you how to live your lives, but if you're not happy, we will certainly show you. We're doing everything we can to help you, but if you're not willing to help yourself, then that's it. Make a decision, be happy, and really just live your life.
Yeah, I just want to add lastly that I can see this from the bottom of my heart based on my experience and all my experience. You all deserve to live the life of your dreams without feeling like you're having to constantly battle yourself and your patterns, the unseen force. I know what that feels like. You deserve better, much better.
Yeah, and I just can't stress enough the fact that once you make that committed decision, happiness shows up, and I really understand why happiness is not something you get, it's something you are. Because when you are out there doing what makes your heart flutter, you are happiness. You are happy, and it just shows naturally in everything that you do, and it cannot be duplicated by simply trying to force yourself to be happy about something.
And booking a call, it's not a rocket science action, but a lot of people let their paradigms keep them from taking action. And let me just ask you, what if you've got to lose, and what if you have everything, your life to win? What would you do? What do you want?
That's easy in front of it. Say that again.
Yes.
So you've got nothing to lose, and your whole life to win. Your whole life, your goals and dreams, what you have ever wanted. So what's it gonna take? Are you gonna stay where you are, or are you gonna do something different?
So what do we say to that, guys? Hashtag
What do you want?
Yes, at the end of the day, it is about what you want, and you need to get clear on that. And if you're not clear on that, we are here to help you. So go to the link, sina.live/Tom, scroll all the way to the bottom, and book a strategy call with either one of us. And we are looking forward to be speaking with you shortly so that we can give you the key for you to go from here all the way to here. So we hope that you enjoyed our presentation and you had a good time. And I know that if you really listen and go through all the stuff we just shared with you, you will not go back to your regular life thinking that I'm stuck and I have no solution. This is the solution. Right? All that's left for you is to take action right now and make a change.
Once again, just like yesterday, thank you everybody so much. We love you all for investing your time with us. It is an irreplaceable feeling that we get every time we get to share with this with you guys, and we are here because you are there allowing us to do this, allowing us into your life and investing your time in us as we invest our time in yours. And this is a mutually beneficial endeavor that we took on. Love you all, and we really look forward to keep bringing you more growth and more higher frequencies so that we can all do this together. Somebody very, very, very successful shared with me. Listen, you think that there's competition? Get that out of your mind, because at the top, there's enough for everybody. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Guys.
Bye. Put the manager, guys.
Bye, friends.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, I have to say stop it to some of my comments, man.